Tonight on Bridge City News, Iranian Canadians celebrate the U.S. assassination of a top general in their former home country as they express hope for a regime change. A candlelight vigil was held last night to rally support for the search for missing Lethbridge man Marshall Awasa. And Australia's Prime Minister has called up 3,000 reservists as temperatures soar and the threat of wildfires escalates in at least 3 states.
Your nation. Your province. Your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A candlelight vigil drew in about 150 supporters last night in Lethbridge at Winston Churchill High School to bring awareness to the disappearance of Marshall Awasa, who was last seen in Lethbridge November 17th. Yesterday was Awasa's 27th birthday. His truck was found burnt out in the BC backcountry near Pemberton a week after his disappearance. Family members say they won't give up and are hoping to expand the search across Canada. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Awasa is asked to contact Lethbridge Police. RCMP in Cardston have laid charges after a peace officer was threatened with a knife. Police say the incident occurred around 6 p.m. on December 31st outside of the RCMP detachment. Fortunately, there were no injuries. 24-year-old Brendan Kurt Eagle, speaker of standoff, is facing numerous charges and will appear in Cardston Court on Monday. Well, now that the Christmas Hope campaign has wrapped up, they are reporting some very successful numbers this year. 1,892 adults and 4,263 children got a helping hand. Christmas Hope is a collaboration between 5 local agencies, including the 2 food banks, the Salvation Army, Lethbridge Family Services Angel Tree, and My City Care Shop of Wonders. Families who received help this year received food hampers and toy bundles, all thanks to support from communities in southern Alberta. Alberta has seen its first vaping-related illness. Health officials say the first person in Alberta reported to have contracted a severe vaping-related lung illness is recovering at home. And because of this reported illness, Alberta is holding off on sales of cannabis vape cartridges until results come in from the review of the Tobacco and Smoking Reduction Act. Cannabis vaping cartridges have been banned in Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador. However, Ontario's cannabis distributor says dozens of new marijuana products will be available in retail shops starting Monday. But supplies will be limited. The Ontario Cannabis Store unveiled 59 new items today, including a variety of vapes, edibles, and a tea. The distributor estimates that products will be in short supply until March as manufacturers ramp up production to meet demand.
We're very excited today to introduce to you the first new product category products that will be available in Ontario starting next week. This morning we started to sell the products that you will see here today to our authorized retail store partners. Deliveries will begin on Monday and they will get deliveries through the week. And we expect that they will put products on their shelves as quickly as possible thereafter. We know that consumers want these products. They want an alternative to what they're getting in the legal market. They want products that are legal, tested, regulated, and traceable. And these products are going to come with a lot more product information than what consumers are used to in the legal market.
New content will be inclusive of important information to consider for responsible use of products such as potency, concentration, and how they differ from product purchased from the illegal market.
The initial deliveries will include a large number of vapes, some edibles, and a brand of tea. The OCS continues to support the broadest and deepest catalog assortment across the country. And across all categories, especially in edibles, beverages, and topicals, we expect that we will have improved availability in the weeks and months ahead. The big piece is education and the understanding that a lot of the illegal market product has not been tested, has not been verified through our QA process or any QA process for that matter. This also includes the distribution of THC across the product. Is it uniform or not? So there's a number of factors where when we talk about quality and quality assurance of the legalized product versus illegal product, that we've got the assurance and consumers have the assurance that the product produced will be what they're expecting.
The battle for control of Hudson's Bay Company may be over. The company that owns the Hudson's Bay and Saks Fifth Avenue stores says a group headed by Executive Chairman Richard Baker has raised its going private offer to $11 per share, satisfying Catalyst Capital Group, its leading rival shareholder. A vote is expected next month. The Baker Group must obtain at least 75% of the votes cast by all shareholders and at least a simple majority of votes by minority shareholders, including Catalyst. Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil has announced the members of a transition team to help forestry workers with the impending closure of the Northern Pulp Mill. The team is part of a $50 million aid package announced by McNeil when he decided not to extend the deadline for the closure of the Pictou County Mill's current effluent treatment facility. Deputy ministers from 3 departments have been named to the team, along with Nova Scotia Community College President Don Bureau and Elmsdale Lumber Company President Robin Wilbur, among others. They will meet later this week. Andrew Scheer's replacement as the leader of the federal Conservatives will be decided in Toronto on June 27th. The party announced the date for the leadership contest yesterday, which is expected to receive mixed results from party supporters. Some have been calling for an earlier vote in order to be better prepared to defeat the Liberal minority government. Among those considering a leadership run are current MPs Aaron O'Toole and Pierre Poilievre, former Quebec Premier Jean Charest, former interim party leader Rona Ambrose, and former cabinet minister Peter MacKay. Several dozen Iranian Canadians danced, cheered, and celebrated in Toronto on Friday in the wake of the death of a top general in Iran. An American airstrike on Thursday in Baghdad, authorized by President Donald Trump, killed General Qasem Soleimani, believed to be responsible for plotting attacks against American personnel. Iran's supreme leader vowed a harsh retaliation, but for those who showed up to dance in a city square, they hoped for a rebirth of their home country. They chanted regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
By the people of Iran! Regime change in Iran by the people.
We are here to support the Iranian uprising against the regime. It's a terrorist regime. We are going to ask international governments, all government, to stop appeasing Iranian regime. The more appeasement, the more blood. I believe every Iranian, Iraqi, Lebanon, Yemeni, Syrian, the real people, not the regime, so happy to see this man is killed. We are so delighted to see this man is eliminated. He was a master terrorist.
Elimination of the terrorism is bringing peace and hope to people. That means getting rid of criminals. So that means Iran regime hands are tied with the sanction that President Trump has imposed in Iran. Much better. What they are doing it is amazing. It's working very well because this is helping Iranian people. This is helping Middle East. This is helping to get rid of terrorist regime in Iran. So protesters in Iran also, they want regime change in Iran.
Having him gone, people will feel that, okay, we are not alone. There are people, their world has come together and putting pressure on this government, on these elements of the atrocities, and they can come out and speak out their mind and cause a democratic process to happen in Iran.
Conservative foreign affairs critic Aaron O'Toole and defense critic James Bazan called on the Liberal government to declare Iran's entire Revolutionary Guard Corps a terrorist organization. That would expand the designation beyond the Quds Force. Global Affairs Canada is urging Canadians to exercise a high degree of caution in Iran and are advising that Canadians avoid all travel to Iraq. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani spoke to reporters after visiting the family of General Soleimani to offer his condolences today. He vowed that Americans and their allies will face consequences. U.S. President Donald Trump continues to claim the attack was a defensive move to prevent future attacks against U.S. troops in the Middle East. Iran's state TV is reporting Qatar's foreign minister made an unplanned trip to Iran where he met with Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif. Qatar hosts American forces at an airbase and shares a massive offshore oil and gas field with Tehran. It has often served as a regional mediator. Australia's Prime Minister says the country is facing an extremely difficult 24 hours. Scott Morrison has called up about 3,000 reservists as temperatures soar to record highs and the threat of wildfires escalates in at least 3 states. The wildfires have killed 23 people, including a father and son who perished today on a highway on Kangaroo Island off the coast of South Australia state. About 3,600 firefighters are battling blazes across New South Wales, where residents are being warned that the worst may be yet to come. An outbreak of a mysterious infectious disease in a mainland China city has revived memories of the SARS epidemic. At least 44 people have been infected in the city of Wuhan, and 5 possible cases of viral pneumonia have been reported in Hong Kong, prompting authorities there to activate a newly created serious response level. The city's health department has added an additional thermal imaging system at the airport to check the body temperature of arriving passengers. Recapping one of our top news stories, Iranian Canadians in Toronto celebrated the U.S. assassination of a top general in their former home country as they express hope it will bring about a regime change. And a look at weekend weather. It was a crazy windy day in southern Alberta today, with a wind warning in effect and gusts of up to 110 kilometers per hour. Thankfully, those winds are expected to diminish tonight under partly cloudy skies with a low of -4. Tomorrow, sunshine and a southwest wind gusting from 40 to 60, and we should get up to +4. The Alberta government's public inquiry into the finances of certain environmental organizations, which they believe are targeting the energy sector with misleading information, is being challenged in court by one of the groups. Cody Battersill with Canada Action will share his perspective on this next. But first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. Blankets for Canada Lethbridge meets Thursdays from 10 a.m. to noon at Southminster United Church. Share your knitting and crocheting skills to keep those who are in need in our community warm. Donations of yarn and financial gifts are greatly appreciated and can be dropped off at the church. For more information, visit blanketsforcanada.ca or call 403-329-6586. Do you or someone you love have a gambling problem? Is it causing chaos in your life and relationships? Gamblers Anonymous holds weekly meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 408 13th Street North. For more information and meeting times, call 403-331-0822. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.